When I woke up as a female supporting character in a Yandere novel, I was negotiating a divorce settlement with the male lead, 50 million to divorce me. If I hesitated for even a second, it would be disrespectful to the money deal. A flash of shock crossed Ji Liexiao's eyes. As the saying goes, you get what you pay for, and I couldn't agree more. In less than an hour, I had cleared everything out of the villa, including myself. 4 years later, I attended a high society gala with my son and ran into Ji Liexiao. Ji Liexiao's eyes showed anger as he dragged me from the banquet and threw me into his car. Are you in such a hurry to be someone else's stepmother? I nodded without hesitation. Yes. Ji Liexiao leaned down, his voice near my ear. Li, it seems like you're welcoming me. This argument with Ji Liexiao almost led to divorce. A flicker of shock flashed in his eyes when he heard me asking for money. But he quickly regained his composure. Don't regret it. Whoever regrets it is a goddamn grandson, I retorted forcefully. In less than 10 minutes, my bank card received a text message notification showing a deposit of 50 million. Ji Liexiao went to the study. I quickly found someone to clean out everything in the villa. Half an hour later, I boarded the plane to City G. Before leaving, I posted a photo of the airport on my WeChat moments with the caption, "Leaving this heartbroken city." After doing all this, I removed the SIM card from my phone and threw it in the trash. As soon as I got off the plane, the first thing I did was go to the bank to deposit the money in a different account. I found a small town by the sea to live in. Only after settling everything down did I feel at ease. At first, I found it hard to believe that I, who grew up with Ji Liexiao as childhood sweethearts, was just a supporting character. The main character was still Zhao Tian, whom I particularly disliked, but reality forced me to wake up, so I chose to take the money and run. This departure lasted 4 years. I didn't have 4 happy months in G City before I found out I was pregnant. I didn't feel much affection for this unexpected child. Instead, I felt a sense of resistance, but the baby in my belly seemed to have chosen me. Surviving even when I was almost hit by a car and landed hard on my bottom, the car accident ultimately convinced me to keep the child. During this time, I met a runaway young master from a wealthy family, Su Zhi. He likes boys and is very resistant to family marriages. We gradually became acquainted and became close friends who could talk about anything. 4 years later, something happened to the Su family. Su Zhi hoped I would go back to help, and offered a reward of 20 million, as long as I act as his fiancée. In these 4 years, I have completely accepted the fact that I am a supporting character. Ji Liexiao is probably already married to Zhao Tian. After Su Zhi's desperate pleas, I finally agreed to return to China with him. As soon as I settled into my seat on the plane, I noticed that a man in the premium cabin, wearing black sunglasses, seemed to be staring directly at me. Su Zhi, holding the child, asked with a puzzled look, "What's wrong? That man keeps staring at mommy," Su Jingyuan said in a childish voice. His chubby little hand pointed not far away. Su Yiza frowned. "Do you know him?" I shook my head. "No." I patted Jingyuan's little hand. "Su Jingyuan, how many times have I told you, you can't just point at people, it's rude." Jingyuan shrank his neck, hugged Su Zi's arm, and whined, "Daddy, mommy is scolding me." Actually, Jingyuan's surname isn't Su. We rehearsed for almost a week in advance for this performance. By the time I looked back, the man in sunglasses had disappeared. It wasn't until I got off the plane that I realized where that familiar feeling came from. I was on the same flight as Ji Liexiao. Ji Liexiao was more composed than I expected, walking straight up to greet me. "Long time no see." "Ah, long time no see. This is my husband Su Zhi. This is ex-husband." Ji Liexiao spoke before I could. As soon as he finished speaking, he reached out and pinched Jingyuan's face. "Hello, little guy, your son." Su Zhi nodded, patting Jingyuan's head. "Su Jingyuan, say hello to uncle." "Hello, uncle." The moment Su Jingyuan spoke, Ji Liexiao took off his sunglasses. "Wow, uncle, you're so handsome. I've seen you online." The four fell silent as Jingyuan's words landed. "It's mainly because Mr. Ji is too popular. I often see you trending," Su Zhi said. "Well, our car is here, so we'll be leaving first. Goodbye, uncle." I nodded slightly to Ji Liexiao. Only after leaving him a short distance did I slowly exhale a breath. "Are you that afraid of him?" I scoffed. "If you're not scared, why are your hands shaking?" Both Su Zhi and I were terrified of Ji Liexiao. His mere aura was enough to scare us both to death. Jingyuan, on the other hand, was very calm. He raised his little hand and said in a childish voice, "I'm not scared. That uncle doesn't look like a bad guy." Su Zhi gave me a look, a testament to this damned bloodline. I shrugged, indicating helplessness. For convenience, Su Zhi and I lived in the same building. He on the 17th floor and I on the 16th. He helped me carry the Principles of Economics textbook back home. "This card has a limit, take it and spend it for now." "So much, did you strike it rich?" Su Zhi scratched his head. "Well, there's still a tiny little thing that I need your help with." "No way," I refused directly, looking at his sly expression. I knew something was up. Without a word, he moved to close the door. Su Zhi was quick-witted and stuck his foot in, blocking the door. "Lily, are we still good sisters? Can we still be friends?" "No." Su Zhi's expression changed slightly. "I'll add money. I'll give you 2 million more." I stopped closing the door. "What is it?" "At the banquet next week, help me observe Fu Yu's expressions more." Fu Yu is Su Zhi's nominal older brother, the adopted son of Su Zhi's uncle. The two are not related by blood. Almost no one knows that these two people once had a brief affair. Fu Yu. Why does that name sound so familiar? Su Zhi clasped his hands together. "Please, just help me out." I raised my hand, just about to tell him to go back, when he suddenly said, "Okay, 5 million it is." Me, tisk, so money makes you great. Since me and Su Zhi returned to China, these few points have frequently been trending on social media. Fortunately, the reporters have a conscience and helped to blur out Jing Yuan's face. On the day of the dinner party, Su Zhi and I brought Jing Yuan with us. The entire dinner party was exceptionally lively. It was also the first time I had formally met the man named Fu Yu. Fu Yu's face was devoid of emotion. "Miss Shi, long time no see." I paused, searching my memory. "Is this the first time Fu Yu and I have met?" Su Zhi watched from afar, wishing he could bore a hole through the back of Fu Yu's head. "Miss Shi, it seems you have a bad memory. We met once at your wedding with President Ji," Fu Yu said calmly. I paused for a moment. "President Fu has a good memory, uncle. Do you dislike my mom?" Jing Yuan suddenly asked. He stared at Fu Yu warily. He paused, clearing his throat. "Is he Ziyi's child?" I nodded. "Not like him." I was about to speak when Su Zhi eagerly rushed up. "President Fu, you're a bit too confident. Acting as if you know me very well." "Daddy," Jing Yuan coquettishly reached out to Su Zhi. He picked him up and gently pinched Jing Yuan's cheek. "Good, you know how to protect mommy." Fu Yu's face darkened. "What are you guys talking about?" Ji Liexiao's voice was clear, cold, and deep, perhaps due to blood ties. Jing Yuan became exceptionally excited upon seeing Ji Liexiao. "Sunglasses uncle." Jing Yuan took the initiative to speak. "Anyone who didn't know would think he was Mr. Ji's child," Fu Yu joked. I didn't stop Ji Liexiao from holding him. Jing Yuan seemed very happy. Su Zhi and I exchanged a look. "Mr. Fu is joking. Jing Yuan is only 3.5 years old." I deliberately understated Jing Yuan's age by half a year. Ji Liexiao looked at me with a searching gaze. After some small talk, Su Zhi took Jing Yuan to the restroom. Only and I were left staring at each other. He said, "He's really your child." "Me, is my adopted son. I can't have children. Have you forgotten?" When Ji Liexiao and I first got married, we went to the hospital for a checkup, and the diagnosis from the hospital was that we couldn't have children. Later, Ji Liexiao and I went to see a traditional Chinese medicine doctor. After half a year of conditioning, there was still no sign of a child, but we ended up getting divorced first. Before we could speak, Zhao Tian appeared before everyone in a red dress. "Liexiao, why didn't you wait for me before coming?" Her tone carried a hint of coquetry. Her gaze faltered as she looked at me. "Surely, long time no see. Zhao Tian is the protagonist of this world." She stepped forward and hugged me, overjoyed. "Long time no see. Where have you been all these years? We've all been looking for you. What do they want from me?" I suppressed my doubts. I wanted to live in a different environment. "Oh, you're married." Her eyes landed on my ring finger. "To whom?" "Su Zhi." Zhao Tian covered her mouth, her face full of disbelief. "You're not kidding me, are you?" I shook my head. "Su Zhi, didn't he used to not like women? I heard he used to date a guy, but they broke up later." About half a year later, he was exposed for going into a children's store to buy children's clothes. "You wouldn't happen to be the child's biological mother, would you?" "No, I'm his stepmother. I've met Zi's ex-wife. She's a very nice person." I said this to Fu Yu, who was holding wine behind me. Pretending not to care, Ji Lishao couldn't help but laugh. Surely, you're really something, giving up being a proper Mrs. Ji to be someone's stepmother. At the same time, Su Jingyuan appeared and asked, Uncle Sunglasses, what's a stepmother? I have to say, my good son is really helpful. Ji Lishao became resentful, and cold words popped out of his mouth. Sure, Li, UNC, mommy, here. Su Jingyuan mimicked the man in the suit in front of him. Fu Yu is more tolerant than I imagined. He just glanced indifferently across my face, finally landing on Su Jingyuan's face. His upright figure makes people want to take a second look when he walks. I didn't expect Fu Yu to eat so well, I thought to myself. Zhao Tian was amused by Su Jingyuan's adorable appearance and raised her hand to touch him. Su Ziyi suddenly appeared and stood in front of us. He took the child proactively, his tone gentle. Let me do it. It's time to be seated, I hummed in agreement, standing next to him. Su Ziyi nodded slightly to them. The dinner party is about to begin, so we'll head over first. Fu Yu stepped forward, blocking his path. Su Ziyi, let's talk. No, Mr. Fu, we have nothing to do with each other anymore. Fu Yu gritted his teeth. I can save your Su family. Sure enough, Su Ziyi stopped in his tracks. Are you threatening me? Su Ziyi said regretfully. It's a pity that Mr. Fu is going to miscalculate this time. After saying that, he took my hand and left, away from them. Su Ziyi and I let go of our hands. His palms were sweaty, and he unconsciously swallowed, getting close to my ear and saying, that scared me to death. I thought you were particularly brave. I mocked him. Su Ziyi, surely, the pot shouldn't call the kettle black. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. In his blunt words, he directly exposed the current state of us both. This is also a fact that must be faced. I raised my eyes and glared at him with a clear gaze. Grandma. We've already come this far, don't leave me alone. The son, held in Su Ziyi's arms, found it amusing and immediately imitated, saying in a childish voice, don't leave me alone, I'm so pitiful. Suddenly, we were all amused. This scene happened to fall into the eyes of Fu Yu and Ji Lishao, who were just about to come over. The banquet officially began. The crowd gradually settled down, and Ji Lishao walked past me with a calm expression. The pad of his index finger seemingly intentionally brushing against the back of my neck. He knew perfectly well that my neck was a sensitive area. Ji Lishao was definitely doing it on purpose. What's wrong? Are you okay? Su Ziyi asked, noticing my strange expression, and moved his chair closer. Su Jingyuan sat on his lap, blinking his moist eyes as he stared at me. I didn't dare to look at the man in front of me at all, and gave Su Ziyi a reassuring look. It's okay. This banquet was also Su Ziyi's first banquet since returning to China. He began to negotiate with big shots from all walks of life. Su Jingyuan sat obediently beside me until he yawned, and I remembered that I should take him back. I glanced around, looking for Su Ziyi's figure. The chair next to me was empty, with no one there. I lowered my eyes and sent Su Ziyi a WeChat message. I can't find you. I'm going back first. Me, Jingyuan, sleepy. Su Jingyuan, overcome with sleepiness, simply wrapped his arms around my neck and shifted slightly before continuing to sleep the moment I lazily picked him up. It seemed to be a habit formed over many years. As we stepped out of the banquet, a gentle breeze swept over us. I was just about to put the jacket I had with me over him. What caught my eye was a black pique lapel suit jacket draped over Jing Yuan's back. I couldn't be more familiar with who this $1,000,000 garment belonged to. I let go of the handrail. Surely. I'll take you back. Ji Lixiao's temper seems to have improved in recent years. I'm being so willful, not giving him face in front of outsiders, and he's not even angry. Instead, he forces an awkward smile at me. No need, we've already called a car, I said bluntly. Ji Lixia wasn't annoyed and followed beside me. It's hard to get a taxi here, and even if you can, it'll take half an hour to get here. Aren't you tired? Besides, surely, it's just taking you home. Are you afraid I'll eat you? I glanced at him. What? Is President Ji setting his sights on someone else's wife? Yes, so what? Ji Lixia said. His answer stunned me into place. Feeling strongly that I couldn't get in the car, I turned around, wanting to go back inside. But unexpectedly, the next second, he grabbed me by the back of my collar, and his familiar scent rushed towards me. The surrounding scents transformed into the unique sandalwood fragrance emanating from Ji Lixia. Ji Lixiao's lips slightly curved upward. Surely, I'll take you. Thank you. I accepted his offer. With a lunatic like Ji Laishao, I can't guarantee what crazy things he might do. Things aren't going too smoothly for Su Ziyi's family right now, and I don't want to create problems for him. Once in the car, I gave an address. Ji Lieshiao's driving was much steadier than before. The car was silent at first, and I sat in the passenger seat holding Jing Yuan. He was clearly exhausted, so even after getting in the car, he just turned over and continued to sleep. Shirley, why do you want to divorce me? Ji Laishao suddenly asked. I didn't want to talk about these things with him, so I chose to remain silent. Ji Laishao, however, parked the car directly on the side of the road, looking at me calmly. Don't you want to talk to me? No, I sighed and said helplessly. Ji Laishao, please let me go. We are no longer people of the same world, and besides, we all have our own lives now, so we should accept our fate. Ji Laishao frowned. Me, drive, or let us out of the car. Ji Laishao restarted the car. Before long, Ji Lieshiao's phone rang. Zhao Tian was calling him, and he tapped his Bluetooth headset twice to answer, although Zhao Tian spoke softly. My keen senses allowed me to hear her clearly. She said, Laishao, are you home yet? Ji Laishao, soon. Zhao Tian, Laishao, let's get married. Okay. The next second, Ji Lieshiao's car stopped at a red light, his eyes falling on me without any reservation. Lost in thought, I didn't avoid his gaze immediately. Just like that, they collided head-on, somewhat searing to the eyes. Laishao, are you listening? Zhao Tiantian's voice came through his Bluetooth headset again. Drive safe. I'll give it to you later. Ji Laishao hung up the phone and set off again. I didn't say a word to Ji Laishao the whole way. After arriving at the neighborhood, I thanked Ji Laishao and prepared to leave with Jing Yuan. As a result, Ji Laishao hugged Jing Yuan first. Now that I've given it to you, shouldn't you offer me a cup of tea? Ji Laishao, I have a husband. That person isn't you. Ji Laishao didn't seem to care at all. Su Ziyi won't be home tonight. You can tolerate this. Me, yeah. I can. He's rich and handsome, and he gives us money to spend. Why can't you tolerate it? Ji Laishao thoughtfully said. I'm also handsome and rich, and I'm considerate. Be with me. I refused on the spot. No, give me the child. I can go up by myself. I reached out, but Ji Laishao ignored me and walked into the residential area. Lead the way. Damn it, lead his ass. Arriving at my doorstep, I couldn't help but feel a headache coming on. Ji Laishao, don't embarrass me. Ji Lieshiao's brow twitched slightly as he handed the child back to me. I'll watch you go in. I opened the door and took the child. A pair of worn men's black slippers in the entryway caught my eye. Ji Laishao stood there dumbfounded, looking at me helplessly. I sighed and stood in front of the door. Ji Laishao, live a good life with Zhao Tian. With a bang, I closed the door, kicked the black men's slippers. Just then, Jing Yuan, who was lying on my shoulder, also woke up. Jing Yuan looked around and realized we were home. His voice was sleepy as he asked, Mommy, is that Daddy? Although Su Jingyuan is only 4 years old, he is more sensible and mature than his peers. I hummed softly and touched his forehead. Are you going back to sleep? Jingyuan shook his head and hugged my arm tighter. Mom, why can't I acknowledge Dad? Can I tell Dad my surname is Ji? My expression was serious. No, Jingyuan, you can't disturb Dad's new life. Understand, if you go, Mommy can't be with you anymore. I have always felt guilty about the lack of fatherly love Jingyuan has experienced, but I can't help it, because all I can do is stay away from him and reduce the harm he does to himself. I kissed Jingyuan on the forehead. It's all Mommy's fault for being useless. Jingyuan pursed his lips. I want to be with Mommy. The next day, as Ji Laishao had expected, Su Ziyi did not go home. When he came to find me, the conspicuous red marks on his neck made it obvious what had happened, especially since he had deliberately worn a high-necked shirt. It's too awful to look at. I stopped him, not letting him in. Su Ziyi's pupils shook. You didn't bring Ji Laishao back, did you? We agreed. Before it's done, we absolutely can't let the cat out of the bag. Listening to him speak anxiously, I couldn't help but roll my eyes. Su Ziyi, look at that red mark on your neck. Even concealer can't cover it. He scratched his head and smiled awkwardly. I can only blame the product for being so bad. Jing Yuan was watching TV in the living room. I said to the living room, Jing Yuan, Mommy is going out for a while. Open the door yourself when I get back. Don't open the door for anyone. Be a good boy and stay at home. Jing Yuan replied in a childish voice. Okay, I closed the door, and Suzy and I went downstairs together. Are you back together with Fu Yu? Suzy shook his head. No, I said oh. These young people really know how to play. Suzy, you brought Ji Lishao home last night. Me, no. Suzy, I saw the compromise you left by the entrance. I glared at him. Suddenly, he understood and sincerely praised. Surely, you're so smart. I know Ji Lishao too well, even better than I know myself. If it weren't for Zhao Tian, we would most likely have lived happily together. Suzy advised me. Since you two have feelings for each other, why not get back together? I smiled wryly, raising my eyes to look ahead. I can't win. Just like all those years, I had revealed the information to Ji Lishao countless times that I was in Ji City, but I waited and waited, hoping time after time. Ji Lishao still didn't appear. Perhaps time had begun to erode his consciousness, or more likely because Zhao Tian had successfully taken the top spot. Suzy opened his mouth, wanting to say something. I asked, "What about you? You've already slept with Fu Yu. Aren't you going to get him to help you out?" Suzy's eyes darted around a bit. Who said that sleeping together means you can get back together? I wonder what he was thinking about. I watched his face turn red at a speed visible to the naked eye. I clicked my tongue twice. What did you recall at this moment that made you blush so much? We strolled through the neighborhood and randomly found an empty bench to sit on. Suzy said shyly, "It's all because of the things you're asking." What did I say? Suzy's face flushed red as he said, "I'm telling you, I can't believe that after all these years, Fu Yu is still so shameless. Last night, he forced me to get back together with him, when I didn't agree. He said he'd do it a few more times, and then I'd agree." Suzy rubbed his lower back and lazily draped his hand over the back of the bench behind me. Just 3 hours later, Suzy and I were trending on social media. Hashtag young master of Su's group returns with wife and child. Hashtag. In the photo, Suzy is holding the child, and I am standing next to him. Behind us, Ji Lishao, wearing sunglasses, was looking at us. At the same time, the second most popular topic on the trending search list was hashtag G's group marriage to Miss Xiao. Hashtag. Within an hour, Suzy's phone was blowing up. My appearance also stirred up curiosity among my friends for a while. Ji Lixiao's brother, Chen Yi, sent me a message. "Yuri back in the country?" Me, "Yes, Chen Yi, that child is." Me, "Not Ji Lixiao's. It's my current husband's." I hadn't chatted for more than a few sentences when my parents called. My mom asked me to come home, bringing Principles of Economics with me. Me, "Mom, Principles of Economics is Suzy's child. You got your marriage certificate." Me, "Not in China yet, but we got married abroad." My mom was particularly angry. "Is that the time you told me about 3 years ago, when you were traveling abroad?" I nodded haphazardly. "Yeah, I won't be bringing the child back." My mom complained. "You child, this is such a big deal. How could you not tell us? Bring the child back to meet us too. After all, no matter what, they'll still have to call me grandma." "Don't worry, your dad won't be angry." I was touched and smiled politely. Okay, I made a special trip back with Jing Yuan on a weekday, afraid of running into Ji Lishao and the others. The moment my mom saw Jing Yuan, she was completely captivated by his adorable appearance. "This child's genes are just too good, aren't they?" my mom exclaimed, unable to resist pinching his face from time to time. "But why do I feel like this child looks so familiar?" my mom muttered. Immediately, Jing Yuan puffed out his cheeks. "Grandma, stop pinching my face all the time. Son, will my big face again." "Who is Son?" My mom's hand stopped abruptly. I said, "His little friend." "Then did he come over?" I shook my head to indicate. "Son is in G City." My dad came in from outside carrying a fishing rod, his deep voice ringing out, "Humph, you still know to come back. Why didn't you wait until we were in our graves to come back, Grandpa?" "Hello," Jing Yuan greeted him in a childish voice, running towards him with his little butt wiggling. Looking down at the bucket my dad was holding, he excitedly pointed at the bucket and said, "Wow, Mommy, look at the big fish. Such a big fish. Grandpa, you are simply Yuan's hero. So amazing." My dad was so flattered that he wasn't even angry anymore, and said proudly, "Let's go. Grandpa will take you fishing." Jing Yuan clapped his hands and cheered, fiddling with the straps of his overalls. "Grandpa is awesome," my dad praised again, blushed. "Little guy, keep up." My mom was about to stop them, but I stopped her and said, Forget it, let Jing Yuan coax dad for me. I followed my mom through the door. Lily, if you ask me, why don't you have another child of your own with that young Master Su? My mom asked me earnestly. Mom, enough. It's good enough to have the experience this lifetime, but he's not your own child after all. I didn't want to talk about it with her. What are we having for dinner tonight? The fish your dad caught. Not that my mom cooked it herself. If you have time, bring Susie back to visit me. I was just afraid that you and my dad were still angry. My mom sighed. If we had known that you and Lai Xiao weren't a good match, we wouldn't have forced you to get married back then. We weren't meant to be. During my time at home, Susie called me. He said the company was a bit busy and he couldn't pick us up in the evening. Then you go ahead and focus on the company's affairs. Good luck. Susie on the other end of the phone seemed very busy and hung up quickly. In these 4 years, except for not going home, I would call my family. Sometimes when I missed them, I would call once a week. The reason my parents were angry was also because I didn't even go home for the new year. And coming back, I'm becoming someone's stepmother. The bedroom arrangement is exactly the same as it was many years ago. I lay in bed, drowsiness washing over me, and soon drifted off to sleep. In my dream, I met Ji Lai Xiao. Why is this man so persistent, appearing even when I'm asleep? The scene shifted, and I followed Ji Lai Xiao to his office. A hidden compartment was concealed in the huge office. Ji Lai Xiao seemed unable to see me, no matter how I called his name. He didn't respond to me, so I followed him into a hidden compartment openly and honestly. When Ji Lai Xiao turned on the switch on the wall, the lights suddenly came on. I was stunned by the scene before me. The walls were covered with my portraits. There were photos from childhood to adulthood, as well as photos of Ji Lai Xiao and me together, and on the table were the most recent photos. In my dream, Ji Lai Xiao looked like he was in pain. He sat casually on the ground, his back to me, stroking a photograph. The person in the photo was me holding Jing Yuan at the airport, with Susie photoshopped out. I slowly moved closer, and Ji Lai Xiao's tears instantly fell. Landing on the photo, I woke up with a start, clutching my chest and gasping for breath. My body didn't tremble for a moment. After a long while, I recovered and sighed. What kind of nightmare did I have? I actually saw Ji Lai Xiao crying. In my memory, Ji Lai Xiao never cried, even when I snatched his favorite toy as a child. This dream is too vicious, making me want to comfort him. A sound of knocking on the door came from outside. Mommy, Jing Yuan's childish voice rang out. Mommy, please open the door. It's your little baby, me, Io, my little baby. How can you be so cute? Listening to my mom's doting voice, I knew that she had been won over by him at this moment. Jing Yuan is really good at acting cute. As soon as I opened the door, I squatted down and rubbed Jing Yuan's head. What's wrong, little darling? Grandpa told me to call you for dinner. Grandma How brought me up. My mom frowned. Why are you covered in sweat? It's nothing. I just had a nightmare. I bent down to pick up Jing Yuan and went downstairs. Today we're eating big fish. Fishing with invincible grandpa. He often gesticulates, describing the scene of fishing with my dad today. But in the blink of an eye, I realized Jing Yuan's clothes had been changed. I didn't even have time to frown. My dad coughed and explained, well, I accidentally didn't keep an eye on Yuan, and she fell into the water. My dad didn't even dare to look up when he said this. My mom was just about to scold my dad. Jing Yuan, it's okay if you can swim, I said. Jing Yuan pouted, muttering, yeah, Grandpa's okay. He patted his chest. It's just that Grandpa was too nervous, and then he gave me a bath. And even specially found Uncle's clothes for me to wear. I was stunned, looking down at him. What Uncle's clothes? It was then that I realized the clothes Jing Yuan was wearing looked particularly familiar. Isn't that Ji Lai Xiao's clothes from when he was a kid? I asked. Dad, did you take him to see Ji Lai Xiao's parents? No, I ran into old Ji while fishing, so we fished together. My dad's voice grew softer and softer. Jing Yuan sensed my anger and began to act cute. Oh. Invincible and beautiful mommy, please don't be mad at me, okay? I promise to stay obediently by Grandpa's side next time. Whatever, we're going to meet sooner or later anyway. Luckily, Jing Yuan doesn't look like us. That's good. How are Uncle Ji and the others doing? My dad was relieved to see that I wasn't angry. They're doing well. Not long after you left, Lai Xiao took over the company completely. So he's been idle and always asks me to go fishing. Those two are obsessed with fishing, my mom said with disdain. All right, go wash your hands and come eat. I had just sat down at the table when the doorbell rang. The servant opened the door and invited the person in. Sir, madam, it's young Master Ji. I paused, suddenly remembering that Ji Lishao had a younger brother who was 4 years younger than him, just graduated this year. He seems to have studied abroad, but I forgot where. Uncle, auntie, long time no see. My parents were also pleasantly surprised, looking at the impressive GLV, back home. Discipline nodded and called out to me, sis-in-law, sis. I responded, long time no see. Discipline put down the gifts in his hands. These are local specialties I brought for you. When I saw the glaring place of production, I couldn't help but be taken aback. I thought of how I had deceived my parents by getting a marriage certificate with Su Ziyi abroad, but then I thought, the Discipline probably wouldn't be so bored as to investigate this matter. Jing Yuan blinked her round eyes and looked at him. I gave them a brief introduction. This is my son, Su Jingyuan. Jingyuan, say hello to your uncles. Jingyuan obediently said, hello, uncles. Because of GLV's presence, an extra chair was added to the dining table. My mom said, it's just some home-style cooking, Xiao Lu, don't mind it. Don't say that, it's been a long time since I've had Aunt Lu's cooking. I've really missed it. To show his sincerity, he deliberately ate a large piece of dompa pork. Jing Yuan sat in his high chair and took a big bite, mimicking GLV's actions, but the meat splattered and almost fell into GLV's bowl. Everyone was amused. GLV suddenly said, Yuan, you're so cute. You look a lot like my brother when he was little. Hearing his words, I almost choked on my food. Sis, don't you think they look alike? I explained to him that Jingyuan wasn't his biological child. After dinner, I held Jingyuan to see Jilv off. Actually, it's only a few steps away, and I didn't really want to move, but I still had to pretend. Watching Jilv leave, I held Jingyuan, just about to go back inside. I suddenly heard Jay speak, stopping me. Sis, where did you live before? I answered truthfully, City G. Jay nodded. That place is pretty good. Judging from his expression, he seemed to be reminiscing, seriously evaluating. Have you been there? Discipline nodded. I attended training camp there in high school. I was dumbfounded. If he hadn't just mentioned it, I would have forgotten that Discipline was a physical education student. It's normal that he trained there. I feigned nonchalance. What a coincidence. GLV smiled at me, a little too sweet. Then, sis, I'll head back first. Jing Yuan said, Uncle, goodbye, back home. I pretended to inquire about GLV tentatively. I learned from my parents that GLV had transferred from a sports student to a medical student. Jing Yuan was born in G City. However, GLV studied abroad, so it probably isn't a coincidence. To avoid the G family from noticing anything amiss, the next day, I made the excuse that I didn't have any clean clothes and took Jing Yuan home with me. On the way, Jing Yuan excitedly used his little genius phone watch to call Sun, who was far away in G City. Most of the time, Jing Yuan chattered on and on, while Sun responded very little. As soon as I got home, Su Ziyi called. He asked me to bring the economics textbook back to the Su family's house that evening. It's only natural to get paid for doing things, but I didn't expect Ji Lishao to be there too. Leaving now would cause trouble. I glared at Su Ziyi, but he didn't even dare to look me in the eye. Taking advantage of everyone's inattention, he secretly gave me a please gesture. Once seated, I learned that Ji Lishao was an investor in the Su family. Su Ziyi chose Ji Lishao directly over Fu Yu's investment. To curry favor with Ji Lishao, the Su family specifically invited Zhao Tian. She naturally sat down next to Ji Lishao, with Jing Yuan on his other side. I heard that President Ji is going to marry Miss Zhao. I would like to offer my best wishes for a happy marriage. There was a hint of flattery in Father Su's tone. Su Ziyi glanced at me, but I remained indifferent, looking down and fiddling with my phone. Just then, Chen Yi sent me a WeChat message. Shirley, are you with Ji Lishao? There seemed to be a probing tone in his words. I took a picture of the dining table and sent it to him, not only together, but also eating at the same table. Chen Yi replied instantly. Are you okay? I just felt he was a bit strange. I'm doing very well. Ji Lieshiao's voice was calm and steady. Oh, how come the person involved, don't know about this? He glanced at Zhao Tian with a cold gaze, then swept his eyes over me. I didn't say anything. Doesn't seem like Mr. Su is very affectionate with his wife. Clearly, Ji Lishao was talking about the trending topics. Zhao Tiantian's expression was unsightly, and she prepared to tug at Ji Laishao, but after being glanced at by him, she stood there dumbfounded. Her face appeared pale. The lonely expression couldn't be concealed no matter what. Even the most foolish members of the Su family realized they had made a mistake. They quickly apologized. However, Ji Laishao appeared very magnanimous, saying nothing on the surface, and just smiled faintly. Jing Yuan lowered his head, picked up my phone, and started looking at capybaras. This is the newly popular top idol. The kids these days really like it. Including Jing Yuan, but Sun doesn't like it. Jing Yuan often says that when he goes back to Ji City, he must bring Sun a capybara, saying, "Mom, if I bring it to Sun, he will definitely love it." Jing Yuan is very sure. The Su family is single-mindedly focused on arranging a marriage for Su Ziyu, even though, in the eyes of outsiders, I bore them a son, they still don't treat me kindly. I also have a nonchalant attitude. After dinner, I took Jing Yuan for a walk in the garden to digest. Waiting for Su Ziyu to finish his work, then go home, Jing Yuan got tired of walking, so he pulled me and pointed to the swing not far away. "Mommy, I want to." I held him in my arms, sitting on the wooden swing, dangling my feet, taking off little by little. Jing Yuan thought it was fun and cheered excitedly. Flying, while waiting for Su Ziyu, I scrolled through my phone out of boredom. I found that there wasn't a single mention online about the marriage between the Ji family and the Zhao family. The Zhao and Ji families are well matched in strength, making them ideal candidates for marriage. In just 1 week, the Zhao family's finances began to falter. Besides the Ji family, I can't think of anyone else who would target the Zhao family. Suddenly, Jing Yuan spoke up. "Mom, who is that?" Following the direction of his finger, I noticed a person standing in front of a black car. The distance was far, and I couldn't make out his expression. From afar, wisps of smoke swirled in front of the man's thin lips. He lowered his hand and looked towards the Su residence. He seemed lonely. "It's too far, Mom can't see clearly either," I responded to him. I checked the time. It was almost time to leave. Just then, a figure blocked my view. A pair of gleaming black leather boots came into view. "Uncle," Jing Yuan called out to Ji Laishao obediently. I held Jing Yuan and retreated almost subconsciously. Ji Laishao's well-defined fingers bent down to pull the swing rope, bringing it towards him. The moment he raised his hand, I saw the scars on his wrist. "Ji Laishao, what happened to your hand?" The words blurted out almost subconsciously. Frowning, I pushed him away with one hand and stood up. "Why don't you cherish your body?" Ji Laishao chuckled, looking down. "Surely, are you worried about me? What's wrong with Jing Yuan calling you uncle and me showing you some concern?" I held Jing Yuan's hand tighter. I continued, "I'm just asking casually. Your body is your own, and you can do whatever you want with it. It's not my place to interfere." After saying that, I took Jing Yuan and was about to leave. Having learned from the previous experience, I specifically drove this time. I had just inserted the key when Ji Laishao opened the passenger seat. I frowned. "What are you doing?" Ji Laishao raised his hand to support himself on the car window, staring at me sideways. "I've been drinking, please give me a ride." I was about to refuse. Ji Laishao interrupted me abruptly. "Surely, you can't be ungrateful, you owe me this. Wasn't it just that he gave me a ride once? He acts like I owe him something so important." Ji Laishao gave me an address, and it wasn't until I was halfway there that I realized he actually lived across the hall from me. I held back. "Ji Laishao, are you doing this on purpose? Last time, I thought the environment on your side was nice, so I rented it." Ji Laishao said it casually. I asked, "When did you rent it?" Ji Laishao, "Last night." Ji Laishao, "Are you crazy?" Ji Laishao didn't hesitate at all. "Yes." After driving downstairs and parking, and returning home with Jing Yuan, I couldn't find my phone for a long time, only to realize that I had left it in the car. Back at the car, a glance revealed that Ji Laishao was still sitting on the bench, holding a cigarette in his hand, but hadn't lit it yet. Ji Laishao was becoming increasingly strange. I opened the car door, bent down and knelt on the passenger seat, looking for my phone. The next second, I vaguely sensed a figure behind me. "Who is it?" I turned to look. Ji Laishao stood in front of the car. Suddenly, he wrapped his arms around my waist, pulled open the back door, and forced me inside. Ji Laishao. No matter how much I called out, Ji Laishao remained indifferent. "Ji Laishao, I'm getting married," he scoffed coldly, glancing at me sideways and saying, Are you going to marry Su Zi with my child? His eyes were bloodshot. Instinctively dodging and evading, Ji Liexiao's hand gripped my chin, forcing me to look at him. Lily, I thought 4 years ago, we were just having a fight. Why did you leave me? His tone was unreadable. The hand caressing my chin tightened its grip as I struggled. Ji Liexiao smirked. Su Zi won't marry you, Lily. I certainly won't let you take my son and marry someone else. In that instant, I suddenly understood the meaning of the message Qin Yi sent me. Ji Liexiao knew that Jing Yuan was my child with him. How did you know? I asked, unwilling to accept it. Ji Liexiao let go of my hand, and instead, with a nonchalant air, wrapped his arm around my waist, pulling me even closer to him. Guess, the short 2 words revealed a hint of roguishness. My hand pressed against his chest. Is that what the discipline told you? Ji Liexiao smiled, not entirely. Jing Yuan and I did a DNA test. I should have known. Seeing that I didn't speak, he continued, and you forgot, my dad has met Jing Yuan. Do you think they had no thoughts at all when they saw Jing Yuan, me? But Jing Yuan doesn't look like us at all. Ji Liexiao, have you forgotten that Jill didn't look like anyone when he was a child? Ji Liexiao's younger brother didn't really resemble him at first, but after the age of 5, his features began to change. Perfectly combining the best aspects of Ji Liexiao's parents, I was startled. I had indeed forgotten about this. Ji Liexiao's hand pinched my lower back, his slightly dissatisfied tone falling beside my ear. I haven't settled accounts with you yet. Why do you trust others with my important matters? I was left speechless by Ji Liexiao. Nothing happened between Zhao Tian and me, Ji Liexiao explained. A rare occurrence. I paused. Why are you telling me this? Ji Liexiao chuckled, his long arm reaching out to pull my face tightly against his chest. Surely, I love you, forever and always. My heart softened the moment Ji Liexiao said that. I asked, you don't mind that I lived with Su Zi? Ji Liexiao picked me up with one arm, entered the elevator and pressed the floor number. We'll go throw all his things out right now. Back home. This was Ji Liexiao's first time here. When he saw that there was nothing of Su Zi's here, his expression was very calm. Aren't you going to suspect me, suspect that I really lived with Su Zi, willing to be a stepmother to his child? Ji Liexiao said. It would be a lie to say I had no doubts at all. He took my hand and placed it over his heart, looking at me earnestly. Lily, you don't know how jealous I felt when I saw you and Su Zi come back together. I was going crazy, seeing you two enter the residential area embracing. I couldn't resist the urge to beat Su Zi to a pulp. The Su family needs funds. If they don't want to rely on marriage, besides Fu Yu, then that person is only me. He took a deep breath and continued, but, after I found out that Jing Yuan is our child, I was quite happy. I don't lack that little bit of money. I could even give Su Zi away. I immediately interrupted him. That won't do. Su Zi still owes me money, Ji Liexiao. Okay, I'll get it all back for you. I was stunned, pulled my hand back, and asked curiously, how will you get it back? Ji Liexiao pinched my nose and said with certainty, I guarantee you'll be satisfied. The words had just fallen. The door to the children's room was opened. Jing Yuan came out wearing his little bear pajamas, yawning. Mommy, you're finally back. When he saw Ji Liexiao, he rubbed his eyes in disbelief. Uncle. Ji Liexiao was displeased and looked at him, saying, you should call me Dad. Jing Yuan looked at me hesitantly, and I nodded. Oh well, let's take it one step at a time. The next second, Jing Yuan rushed straight towards Ji Liexiao and shouted, Dad. That night, Jing Yuan kept pestering his dad to stay, but in the latter half of the night, Ji Liexiao was the one clinging to me, not stopping until almost dawn. When I woke up, it was already noon. The phone on the bedside table suddenly lit up. I took a look and found that it was a message from Ji Liexiao. Jing Yuan, I brought him to the company. Ji Liexiao, if you miss him, you can come to the company to pick him up, and by the way, bring me the car keys on the bedside table. I glanced at the bedside table and there really was a Lamborghini car key. I poked at my phone. Are you doing this on purpose? Ji Liexiao, you found out, at noon, after I packed up. I took a taxi to Ji Liexiao's company, but Ji Liexiao was out. And his assistant received me. Madam, you're finally back. I smiled awkwardly at him. Ji Liexiao and I have been divorced for many years. The assistant turned a deaf ear. Madam, please don't hesitate to call me if you need anything. Jing Yuan was taken away by Ji Liexiao. I was the only one in the huge office. Looking at the office setting, I suddenly recalled the scene in my mind. Just want to try it out. Behind Ji Liexiao's office chair, I knocked on the wall, and sure enough, I found it was hollow. Isn't this a bit too real? According to my memory, I moved a book on the bookshelf, and the switch came into view. I pressed it with surprise. The door to the hidden compartment opened. I walked in and flipped the light switch. The interior setup was exactly the same as in my dream. Desk, bed, bathroom, even the cloakroom. Nothing was missed here. I opened the window a crack, and light streamed in, landing on the bed, reflecting on a photo. It turned out to be a photo of me holding 2-year-old Jingyuan playing in the sand. My eyes flashed, and I finally found a black leather diary on the bedside table. When I opened it, I found it was densely filled with every little detail about me and Ji Liexiao. A low, hoarse voice came from behind me. Li. The next second, Ji Liexiao hugged me from behind, resting his head on my shoulder. I'm sorry. When did you find out about Zhao Tian? I asked, my voice trembling. Ji Liexiao circled my wrist, revealing those scars again. I asked, does it hurt? Ji Liexiao said, it doesn't hurt, Lily, don't cry. I don't hurt anymore. The day after you left, I knew Zhao Tian was a strategist with financial resources comparable to the Ji family. Ji Liexiao said, I heard that Zhao Tian talking to that system. They want to erase my memory. I'm scared. I'm so scared. But I'm even more scared of them hurting you. Ji Liexiao sat on the edge of the bed and let me sit on his lap. He held my forehead and kissed it. Lily, don't worry. I will protect you. Lily, don't leave me. So how did you get the scar on your hand? I asked. He said, Zhao Tian bought a medicine through the system task that would allow me to forget you. I was afraid of forgetting, so I built this secret room, and I would write things down whenever I had time. But for a while, I forgot you. I couldn't remember anything. So I tried to cut myself open. Instantly, my eyes turned red, and I slapped Ji Liexiao's chest. Are you stupid? Ji Liexiao wiped away my tears, still comforting me. Lily, it's okay. It's all going to be over. Then, he pulled me into his arms. Zhao Tiantian's family's company went bankrupt, removed overnight. At the same time, both Ji Liexiao and I received the message that Zhao Tian had failed her mission. It's really over. I excitedly grasped Ji Liexiao's hand. He wrapped his arms around me. Yes, since Zhao Tian disappeared, Ji Liexiao has been appearing at my house more and more frequently. Sometimes, I would also run into Suzy bringing Fuyu. What a coincidence. Downstairs neighbor. What a coincidence. Upstairs neighbor. Fuyu and Ji Liexiao had an awkward conversation. Later, I learned that both Ji Liexiao and Fuyu had seen Suzy and I going in and out together. They were both heartbroken for a long time because of this. Ji Liexiao's identity as an investor was bought out by Fuyu at a high price. In one fell swoop, just in profits, I made 30 million. Suzy was so angry he exploded, constantly bombarding me with WeChat messages. I replied, this is your own fault. 6 months later, Ji Liexiao handed the company over to GLV. He took me and Ji Jingyuan back to Ji City to live. As the night deepened, I snuggled in his arms and asked, you came here with me, don't you miss home? Ji Liexiao laughed freely, leaned down and kissed my face. No, wherever you are is home. The end of the story. Now on to the next one. I transmigrated into a book and was bound to the female lead protection system, but I am the vicious female supporting character in the book. The male lead's white moonlight. The system said that the angrier the male lead is with me, the more money I can get. Who would bother fighting over a man when they could be making money? So I dedicated myself to openly bullying the female lead and creatively infuriating the male lead. At the male lead's birthday banquet, I angrily ordered 8 hot male models with great butts, ruined the tender atmosphere between him and the female lead. The system immediately went bankrupt, and I made a fortune and ran away abroad, but I never expected to be found by the male lead. His smile was cold, and his eyes were bloodthirsty. Besides me, who else do you want to harm? The college entrance examination is over. It was Gu Jingji's 19th birthday party. He booked the Deep Sea Bar, a popular spot for the Beijing social circle. Dim lights and soul-shaking music, gilding the night with a layer of hazy ambiguity. He was in a private room with a few of his close brothers, surrounded by misty vapors. When I pushed the door open and entered, they were playing Truth or Dare together. Everyone's eyes were fixed on me and another girl. There was a hint of awkwardness in the air. That was Qiao's biological daughter, Qiao Shu, and I was the adopted daughter of the Qiao family. Everyone knew we didn't get along. I strode to the sofa without looking sideways, casually poured myself a glass of wine, swirling the glass as I sat down. Don't mind me, carry on. Gu Jinji's good buddy gave an awkward laugh and invited everyone to continue. Young Master Gu chose truth just now. Is there anyone here that he likes? His buddy couldn't wait to ask the long-planned question. The surrounding crowd began to jeer, then winked at Qiao Shu. Qiao Shu's cheeks flushed. She tucked the hair from her forehead behind her ear. The way she looked at Gu Jinji was full of tenderness. Gu Jinji leaned back on the sofa. His voice languid. Yes, whistles rang out incessantly. A golden couple, a perfect match, a match made in heaven. Qiao Shu's face was flushed crimson. Seeing that the atmosphere was just right, I sent a voice message with a smile. Before I could put my phone down, the door of the private room was pushed open with force. A line of 188 male models filed in, 8 in total, broad shoulders and narrow hips, standing in a row. I flipped up from the sofa like a carp jumping, enthusiastically the handsome guys to sit around me. Everyone in the private room was dumbfounded, stopping their games and staring at me with their mouths open. The ambiguous atmosphere between Gu Jinji and Qiao Shu was swept away. I carefully sized up the male model in front of me, although none of them could compare to Gu Jinji in appearance. They made up for it in numbers, 8 at once. Focusing on winning with quantity, I was like a little white rabbit, squeezed between bulging muscles. I turned my head to Gu Jinji with gratitude and said, "Adding some fun to your birthday, put it on your tab." Then I wondered, with so many male models, which one should I start with? A loud bang suddenly exploded in my mind. Female lead protection system Qiao Yuan account, received 10 million. I transmigrated into Qiao Yuan, the fake heiress female in a campus true and false heiress novel. As the adopted daughter of the Qiao family, I grew up with the male lead, Gu Jinji. In the original book, Qiao Yuan was used to shield the female lead. The real Qiao family's daughter Qiao Shu, from disaster, Qiao Shu was destined to have a calamity and would die in a car accident at the age of 20. Before the age of 18, she could only live in the Taoist temple on Qingqing Mountain. After Qiao Shu returned to the Qiao family, because she had been raised in a Taoist temple for many years, she was as gentle as a chrysanthemum. Qiao Yuan, on the other hand, had been raised with an inflated sense of pride since childhood and was unwilling to lose her status as a wealthy heiress, nor was she willing to hand Gu Jinji over to Qiao Shu, so she pretended to be innocent while committing all kinds of evil deeds against Qiao Shu, sowing discord and creating misunderstandings between the male and female leads. But in the end, Qiao Yuan, at the age of 20, met her fate as a scapegoat, dying in a car accident in place of Qiao Shu. The scheming female supporting character is offline, much to everyone's delight. Originally, it was just the death of a female supporting character, nothing significant, but unexpectedly, this deceased female supporting character became the unforgettable white moonlight in the heart of the male lead, Gu Jinji. From then on, she forever occupied a place in his heart, a dead white moonlight, with a lethality of 100,000%. Completely disrupted the plot where the male and female protagonists are happily together, so as soon as I transmigrated into the book, the system immediately bound me to the female lead protection system, in order to correct the plot, to provoke Gu Jinji in every possible way, to make him annoyed with me. That way, even if I go offline in the future, he won't miss me, no matter how I calculate it. This is a dead end. Eventually, I will be hit by a car and die, fulfilling someone else's happiness. I could only cry and beg the system, is there any way for me to survive? The system softened and told me, if you can repay the Qiao family's kindness in raising you, perhaps you can avert this disaster. Therefore, after transmigrating into the body of 10-year-old Qiao Yuan, I had only one goal, to make money, to make a lot of money, to pay back the Qiao family 20 million before I turn 20, then live on. Fortunately, I'm bound to the female lead protection system. I can earn enough money to bankrupt them. 3. Before Qiao Shu returned to the Qiao family, I was operating solo, going head-to-head with Gu Jinji in the mid-lane. His profession is just asking for trouble. The Qiao family and the Gu family are neighbors and have been family friends for generations. The Gu family has strict traditions and demands perfection from him. Gu Jinji, at a young age, is already serious, aloof, and reserved. He consistently ranked first in the school, excelling in both academics and character. Even in a prestigious school full of wealthy students, he was a dazzling presence. I could only bury myself in studying, relying on my experience of having taken the college entrance exam in my previous life. Finally, I snatched the top spot in junior high school. Let him start happily winning mixed doubles. I also volunteered to be the governor for Gu's mom and Gu's dad, monitoring Gu Jinji's every move at school, day after day, rain or shine, without fail. Reporting on Gu Jinji only said one sentence to a female classmate, and I can exaggerate and immediately report, Auntie, Gu Jinji is having a puppy love, which will delay his studies. As a result, Gu Jinji happily gets doubles every 3 days and singles every 2 days. I can easily pocket 2 million by snitching and infuriating Gu Jinji. When I passed by his house on my way to school, I saw the resentful look in Gu Jinji's eyes as he stared at me. That puts me at ease, makes me comfortable, and brings me joy. Another day filled with resentment, but he really couldn't take it anymore, stopping me with a cold look in his eyes. Xiao Yuan, give me a break. I was a little scared, but not much, because in the book, Gu Jinji is inherently kind. Apathy and gloom are just his protective colors, but I still gave him a lot of face and immediately groveled. Brother Jinji, I was wrong. I was just worried about you for your aunt's sake. Now that you know you're wrong, don't you ever tattle on me to my parents again. He frowned and said to me righteously. I nodded obediently. He was a model student to begin with, and my snitching on him was just nitpicking. It was quite tiring for me to nitpick. After Gu Jinji entered high school, he had a mortal enemy, the young master of the Lu family, Lu Shiyan. This master was the male second lead in the book, a proper school bully. Failing grades, skipping classes to fight, a large group of followers, he just couldn't stand Gu Jinji, who was of good character. Besides studying, I was always eager to compete with Gu Jinji in every possible situation. Lu Shiyan and I felt like we had known each other for a long time, and we hit it off immediately, quickly becoming inseparable. He was responsible for implementation, and I was responsible for strategizing. Together, we ruined Gu Jinji's untouchable image. I made a lot of money. I asked Lu Shiyan to go to the library to discuss the next plan. He sat across from me with his hands in his pockets, a bruise on his forehead and blood seeping from the corner of his mouth. I was startled. Are you okay? He raised his hand that was hanging down to touch his pale lips, and the pain made him gasp. I hurried to find the medicine box and leaned over to wipe his wounds. Lu Shiyan leaned back in his chair, and I leaned over in front of him. At this moment, an innocent little girl had no idea that a casual action would ripen a big, round melon. I frowned in distaste as I applied the medicine to Lu Shiyan. A series of deposit notifications suddenly flooded my mind, leaving me completely disoriented. Female lead protection system Xiao Yuan account, deposit of 10 million. I immediately sat up straight and looked around. What happened? I haven't even successfully conspired with Lu Shiyan yet, and a huge fortune falls from the sky. I've never had so much money deposited into my account at once. Before, it was always 50,000 or 100,000. I had to make Gu Jinji half to death to get 1 million. I anxiously scanned the heads buried in study in the library. Finally, I saw Gu Jinji next to the bookshelf 10 meters behind me. He leaned lazily against the bookshelf, one hand in his pocket, the other holding a book. The dim, yellow light of dusk spilled across his superior jawline, outlining a beautiful scene, as expected of the male lead. So handsome despite his disregard for the lives of others. My heart seemed to skip a beat. But why is his face so dark, his expression so terrifying? Who provoked him? Lu Shiyan, and I haven't even made a move yet. He stared at me motionlessly, making my whole body crawl. After a long while, he curled his lips into a contemptuous sneer, his eyes chillingly cold. Hey, the medicine is going to drip into my mouth. My school uniform was suddenly yanked hard. I quickly looked down at Lu Shiyan, retracting my hand that was hovering in the air to apply medicine to him. A drop of iodine solution happened to drip onto his face, meandering down. It slid down along his jawline, coupled with his battle-worn appearance. My heart seems to have skipped a beat again. Lu Shiyan, this appearance is comparable to Gu Jinji. The characters in the book are indeed different. But although I was a 25-year-old single woman in my previous life, haven't chewed fine bran, but haven't I seen it? No woman can survive my Douyin favorites. I calmly bent down again to apply the medicine to him. After applying the medicine, I looked up at the bookshelf. and Gu Jinji was gone. I'm still confused, not knowing how that huge sum of money suddenly landed on my head. Could it be a bug in the system? The system hurriedly jumped out. It wasn't me, I didn't do it, don't talk nonsense. I shook my head and stopped thinking about it. A message popped up on my phone. It was a post on the campus forum. Breaking, the top student and the school bully were caught kissing passionately in the library. 5. I had a bad feeling and clicked on the message with trembling fingers. The first thing I saw was the video of me applying medicine to Lu Shiyan just now, but this tricky camera angle makes it look like I'm pinning Lu Shiyan to the chair and kissing him like crazy. The comments below are growing rapidly. I was there just now, and I was blushing like crazy watching it. Didn't they get together a while ago? But this is the first time they've made out in the library. As expected of the top student and the school bully, kissing in the library takes guts. A foster daughter of the Chiao family isn't worthy of being with our young Master Lu. He must have been forced. Chiao Yuan used to always pester Gu Jinji. Has she changed targets now? To capture the angle of me applying medicine to him, with rows and rows of tall bookshelves in the background. There's no one. I'm in a situation where I can't clear my name even if I jump into the Yellow River. Whispers began to rise around us, and those who were buried in their studies looked up in our direction. I anxiously grabbed my hair. I want to make money, not have a premature romance. Besides, who would want to be associated with such a mentally challenged school bully? Lu Shiyan looked at the post with a calm expression. I didn't want to say another word to him, so I packed my school bag and left. He shouted at me from behind. Weren't we going to discuss a plan? Where are you going? I threw back a disgruntled, I'm going solo. Then I sprinted away from this troublesome place. On the way home, I pondered how to continue infuriating Gu Jinji independently. Lost in thought, I didn't see the person standing at the entrance of the villa area. I brushed past his arm, not even bothering to look up and see who it was. But suddenly, my wrist was seized with a powerful grip. Xiao Yuan. You're pretending you didn't see me. It was then that I came back to my senses. Damn it, Gu Jinji, young Master Gu, what brings you here? I immediately plastered on a smile. I'm still counting on him to make money, so I need to be nice to him usually, and ruthless when I strike, give a slap and then a sweet date. That's how you keep exploiting someone. You've really got some nerve now, even learning to have puppy love. I frantically explained. Misunderstanding. It's all a misunderstanding. What misunderstanding? His voice was low and husky, his expression unclear in the shadows. I was just applying medicine for him. We have nothing between us. He suddenly released my hand, the expression on his face, 3 parts coldness, 3 parts indifference, and 4 parts happiness. How could there be happiness? My heart leaped into my throat. He's so concerned about whether I'm having a relationship. Could it be that? You better not be. Or I'll tell Aunt Xiao what you've been up to at school. He threw out the sentence with a sneer. Great, the suspense is back in my left chest. I thought he had some other feelings for me. Turns out he's been holding a grudge all this time, wanting to snitch on me. I pretended to be aggrieved, frowning and muttering, Brother Jinji, please don't tell my adoptive mother, or I'll be kicked out. Gu Jinji was taken aback, his tone softening a lot. Then you be good and don't have a premature romance. 6. After that day, that post suddenly couldn't be found. It must be the school that stepped in to protect my good reputation as the top student in the grade. I avoided Lu Shiyan at school, afraid of being photographed with him again. Otherwise, Gu Jinji would have something to hold over me. Wouldn't that make him so proud of himself? But there are always coincidences, like when Lu Shiyan stopped me in the lab building. His hands were in his pockets, wearing the school uniform in a scruffy, nonchalant way. He lazily asked me, Hey, did Gu Jinji bribe you? How much did he give you? I'll double it, young Master Will. I rolled my eyes, thinking he was just rich and stupid. 100K, you're giving me 200K, his body trembled. And he took 3 steps back. I don't have it now, but I will when I get into college. Just you wait. Wait for what? His dad cut off his credit card because he wasn't studying hard. I knew he was broke, that's why I said it on purpose. Lu Shiyan left confidently, and I breathed a sigh of relief. After that, I worked tirelessly to make money from Gu Jinji. I imitated his handwriting to write back love letters to the girls. In the letters, I told them, I like girls who are good at studying. As long as you get into the top 50, I will have dinner with you. In the end, 25 girls blocked Gu Jinji on the basketball court. Gu Jinji had just finished a basketball game. crystalline beads of sweat hung on his fair skin, and mineral water soaked his black hair. He was so handsome that I couldn't open my eyes. He stared at the dark mass of girls and asked coldly, "What's up?" One of the girls said shyly first, "Gu Jinji, don't you like girls who are good at studying?" I got into the top 50 this time. "Please have dinner with me," following her voice. The girls behind her scrambled to speak. "Gu Jinji, I'm number 20, eat with me first." "Gu Jinji, I'm number 25, I'm second in line." Gu Jinji's brows furrowed deeper and deeper, until finally he couldn't bear it any longer, shouting fiercely towards the crowd, "Qiao Yuan, get your ass over here." Female lead protection system. Qiao Yuan account, 2 million received, money received, no after-sales service. I sprinted away from the scene. Gu Jinji takes a different female companion to dinner every day. For 25 consecutive days, none of the female companions were repeated. People in Beijing's inner circle gave him the nickname, Gu the 25th. On the last day, Gu Jinji saw off the last girl, banged on my front door. 7. My adoptive mother smiled and invited him in, even pouring tea and water for him. But he grabbed me like a madman and headed straight for my bedroom, before I could react. He grabbed my wrist and slammed me against the door, trapping me within his tensed, veined arms. A pleasant, fresh scent of pine enveloped me. The distance between us was so close that I could feel his breath. Instinctively, I tried to pull my arm back. A cold and stern voice drifted into my ears. "Qiao Yuan, you're getting bolder and bolder now. What are you going to do next? Drug me and send me to another woman? How come I didn't think of that? That's another trick I could use." I suppressed the delighted twitch of my lips. "Thank you for the suggestion, but I'm not planning on doing that for now." "For now?" He glared at me. No, how could I ever do something like that? I'm just trying to do a good deed, and it turns out that those girls' grades have improved significantly because of you. You've single-handedly raised the school's average score. A truly meritorious deed," I said, looking down, twisting my body, trying to break free from his grip. But he kept getting closer. I looked up, my forehead brushing against the tip of his nose. A warm breath escaped, accidentally landing on his handsome neck. He shuddered, a flicker of panic flashed in his eyes. Then he loosened his grip and let me go. I rubbed my wrist, which he had squeezed red, and said in annoyance, "You just sacrificed your looks a little and had dinner with them for a month. I'll pay you back for the meals, okay?" Gu Jinji gazed at me with profound eyes. "Qiao Yuan, are you really pretending not to understand?" "I don't understand what?" "Don't underestimate the self-cultivation of a cannon fodder female supporting character." "I understand. Us ordinary people are not worthy of you. Don't worry, I won't cause you any more trouble like this in the future." Young Master Gu Jinji opened his mouth, but finally closed it helplessly. I feel like he's about to suffer internal injuries from being stifled by me. It's okay, he's almost rid of me. Because I've almost saved enough money to return to the Qiao family. 8. On the day of my and Qiao Shu's 18th birthday, she was taken back to the Qiao family. We were born on the same day, in the same month, and in the same year, which is why I was adopted to ward off disaster for her. The Qiao family announced to the public that they had found their eldest daughter who had been missing for many years and would be holding a welcome banquet soon. Because Qiao Shu had lived in a Taoist temple for many years, she had an otherworldly temperament, as pure and elegant as a chrysanthemum. In the original book, Qiao Shu's introduction portrays her as pure, innocent, and kind-hearted, completely different from the glamorous and scheming women usually surrounding Gu Jinji. Therefore, she immediately caught Gu Jinji's attention. In addition, her experience of being lost for more than 10 years further aroused Gu Jinji's desire to protect her. Qiao Yuan is a white lotus, while Qiao Shu is a true innocent. Gu Jinji was actually quite good to Qiao Yuan, but after Qiao Shu came back, the contrast was stark, and everything before paled in comparison. The first time I saw Qiao Shu, I was indeed amazed by her, finally understood what it means for a two-dimensional character to come to life. Qiao Shu has picturesque eyebrows, a beautiful face, skin like congealed fat, and a crisp voice. Gu Jinji and Qiao Shu are a CP. I'll ship them first as a sign of respect, but unexpectedly, this girl is just pretending to be indifferent as a chrysanthemum. Could it be that she's also a transmigrator? I have no way of knowing, but the day after she came back, she did something that made me extremely disappointed. I was awakened by a burst of crying and groggily opened my eyes from the bed. I saw Qiao Shu fall into my room. She was crying with tears streaming down her face, a pitiful sight. She was wearing one of my dresses. Her hair was disheveled, and her clothes were torn, revealing a large expanse of her snowy white back. Damn it, that's not how it was written in the original book. The original book described Xiao Yuan framing Xiao Shu for stealing her clothes, which ultimately led to her being reprimanded by her adoptive parents and Gu Jinji after the truth was revealed. And I haven't even done anything yet. How did Xiao Shu start acting on her own? Her cries alarmed her adoptive parents. Also rushing into my bedroom was Gu Jinji, who was visiting our home. My adoptive mother Xiao Shu with concern. Sure, what's wrong? Xiao Shu sobbed softly, her fair nose red from crying. Mom, I was wrong, I'll never borrow my sister's clothes again. I didn't expect my sister to mind so much. I was completely bewildered. How did this female lead go from being indifferent as a chrysanthemum to a self-destructive white lotus? But as soon as Xiao Shu finished speaking, my system account started ringing non-stop. 1 million credited to the account. 9. Is Gu Jinji feeling sorry for Xiao Shu? I looked up at Gu Jinji. He expressionlessly took off his coat, gently draped it over Xiao Shu AI, covering her bare back. Then he turned to look at me. His eyes as dark as ink, unreadable and unpredictable, as expected of the female lead. She makes a move so casually that she can make Gu Jinji so angry with me. In that case, I won't stand on ceremony. I crossed my arms, looking down at Xiao Shu AI with my nostrils, and said in a shrill voice, "Why should a country bumpkin like her wear my clothes?" A hint of surprise flashed in Xiao Shu's eyes. "So, you didn't expect me to admit it so readily, did you, you sanctimonious bitch?" My overbearing demeanor completely enraged my foster mother. A slap landed heavily on my face. For a moment, my mind went blank, then buzzed with noise. "You ingrate, she's the true heiress of the Chiao family. You're just an adopted daughter, an ingrate. I wish I could be a wolf, but I'm just a pig waiting to be slaughtered, being fattened up, then, at the right time, send them to the slaughterhouse." Seeing this, Gu Jinji immediately pulled his adoptive mother back, as if afraid she would hit me again. I don't understand his actions. If I'm beaten to death, wouldn't there be one less person constantly making him angry, and one less person annoying Xiao Shu? Yes, I am an adopted daughter, so why not just kick me out? I deliberately acted unreasonably, making them think I was just acting out of jealousy. Sure enough, my adoptive mother looked flustered. If I ran away, what if something went wrong? How else could I protect her precious daughter from disaster? "You honor, what nonsense are you talking about? You are also a daughter of the Chiao family." I immediately reached under the covers and pinched my thigh. The pain made me burst into tears, and I began to babble incoherently. "I'm just an abandoned orphan, not good enough for the Chiao family." My words even brought tears to the eyes of the onlookers at the door, who sympathized with my plight. "Let's see who has the stronger tea flavor with this 82 long jing. Enough, get along from now on. And no more trouble," the adoptive father roared, and under his authority, there was silence. This hair-pulling incident ended with my allowance being suspended for a month. "Your sister is rolling in money now. Who cares about that little bit of allowance?" "Care, I care very much." "Heartache. It really hurts. Even a fly's or mosquito's leg is meat." However, this little loss is nothing compared to what I'm about to earn from Gu Jinji. Not worth mentioning, because I've discovered a new way to make money off Gu Jinji. Bully Xiao Shu, infuriate him, a two-pronged approach. I don't even have to lift a finger. Xiao Shu, following the original plot, finds ways to abuse herself and then frame me. In the original story, the female supporting character always took the initiative to bully the female lead, but now the female lead is rushing to push the plot forward. I just need to accept everything, and she always chooses to do it when Gu Jinji is around. It's like moving the entire bank directly to my bed, every day. As soon as I open my eyes, I can lie down and count money. The system can't handle it anymore and starts flashing red lights at me. Warning, please control the frequency of income, otherwise the system will face the risk of collapse. That won't do. How else am I supposed to make money lying down without the system? So, I very reluctantly tried my best to avoid Xiao Shu. I left early and returned late every day, like a thief. After persisting for a month, I finally stabilized the system, but a post suddenly appeared on the campus website, saying I'm doing sugar daddy dating, and hooking up with teachers, and not coming home at night, described vividly, with photos of me asking teachers for help and returning home in the dark. The number of reposts has exceeded 500, the poster's name is Zhen Qianjin, and the profile picture is a pile of scattered luxury goods. I clenched my phone, trembling with anger. I couldn't hear what the teacher was saying on the podium at all. My mind was full of ways to find this poster. Whoosh, 5 million suddenly appeared in my mind. Warning, please control the amount of money received, or the system will face the risk of collapse. I suddenly straightened my back and looked back at Gu Ziji's seat in the last row. He was looking down at the phone in his desk. His expression was gloomy. With veins throbbing between his eyebrows, he noticed my gaze and looked up. Meeting my questioning eyes, his expression suddenly relaxed, transforming into a still pond, without the slightest ripple. I turned my head back, not understanding why he had gotten angry again just now. I racked my brains thinking. It suddenly dawned on me that he must have seen the post slandering me for engaging in compensated dating, me engaging in compensated dating. Wouldn't that also smear Xiao Shu's reputation in the process? No wonder he was so angry that he spent so much money. 11. After class, more and more classmates saw the post. They all cast strange glances at me. Several of the young delinquents who had always disliked me began to make sarcastic remarks. I was buried in my test paper when the lead girl came over and snatched my pen away. Yo, is the Chiao family's adopted daughter about to be abandoned, desperate enough to start looking for old men? You can rely on that face of yours. Why bother studying so hard? Who are you glaring at? Acting like you're virtuous after becoming a whore. I stood up abruptly, kicking the chair in front of me. I wouldn't kick my own desk. If the books scatter all over the floor, I'm the one who has to pick them up. I'm lazy. The chair crashed to the ground, and the little gangster girl took a few steps back. You guys forgot about Lu Shiyan, didn't you? He's my simp. Excuse me, young Master Lu. I'm borrowing you for a moment. The expressions on the faces of the people in front of me clearly changed, but they still tried to remain calm. You bitch. You still dare to pester our young Master Lu. He was very happy when we kissed. Don't believe me, go ask him, I said with a sneer. The young delinquents were clearly scared. If I really had something going on with Lu Shiyan, they wouldn't have a good time if they messed with me. After all, Lu Shiyan was known for fighting like he had nothing to lose. I scanned them with a mocking look. Soon, they disappeared from my sight, tugging at each other's sleeves. I took a deep breath and went outside the classroom for some fresh air, ready to write a good reply to clarify things, but I ran right into Xiao Shu and Gu Jinji alone at the corner of the stairs. For some reason, my heart skipped a beat. A feeling of fear and helplessness washed over me. I didn't even feel this way when I was facing that group of young delinquents just now. I can't breathe, like I'm drowning, suffocating. Xiao Shu's hands were clasped behind her, her face flushed and delicate. Brother Jinji, I believe my sister isn't that kind of person. Although she's often out all night, I believe she must have her reasons. I resisted the urge to rush over and slap her twice. When did I ever not come home at night? Gu Jinji was absorbed in typing on his phone, looking serious, and ignored her. Xiao Shu continued, Jinji Gij, it must be that my sister is worried that the Qiao family won't support her in the future, so she's doing foolish things for money. Let's go and persuade her. Okay. Gu Jinji finally put down his phone and turned to look at Xiao Shu. With a cold and sharp gaze, she exuded a hint of chilling murderous intent. Terrifyingly violent. Xiao Shu, I didn't expect you to have so many faces. The class bell rang, and I didn't hear what Xiao Shu said, turned around and went back to the classroom. Gu Jinji and Xiao Shu are indeed the official CP. The usually aloof and noble Gu Jinji only shows a bit of human emotions in front of Xiao Shu. Gu Jinji and Xiao Shu also walked into the classroom one after the other. Gu Jinji had a dark expression, while Xiao Shu's eyes were red. What did I miss in those few seconds? I was wondering when I received a message from Lu Shiyan. It was an IP screenshot, along with a sentence. The IP address of the poster is your home. Is there a traitor in your house? 12. I looked at the screenshot, and it was indeed my home. I've long suspected Xiao Shu, and now it's confirmed. I don't plan to let her off this time. Some things, when taken too far, require her to pay the price. But as soon as I entered the original post and took a screenshot, the post suddenly disappeared. A new pinned post appeared. And it was actually the site owner who came forward personally. He posted, the internet is not a lawless place. Please do not post rumors. Once verified, the account will be permanently banned. I searched for, again, and sure enough, it showed that the account was banned. The rumor was self-defeating. The website owner is a mysterious figure. No one knows their real identity. All that's known is that they're a computer science guru and in the same year as us, besides posting the site rules. This is the first time he's posted personally. Lu Shiyan, that kid, has some loyalty in him. I replied to him, thank you for your help. He quickly replied, just checking an IP. It's a small thing, only check the IP. Then why did the website owner come forward? It must be the school again, unable to bear seeing the top student embroiled in rumors, intervening. Nobility is the epitaph of the noble. Good grades are a pass for top students. I held back my emotions and furiously did problems. My pen flying across the page. After school, I rushed home like the wind to organize the evidence of Qiao Shu's slander against me. Suddenly, a post popped up on my phone. The poster was, Miss, she apologized to me, saying that she was just fabricating rumors out of thin air, and now she has realized her mistake and hopes to be forgiven by me. At this moment, someone knocked on my bedroom door. Qiao Shu stood at the door, her face flushed, stammering for a long time without saying a word. I don't have time to wait for her to cause trouble, so I'm ready to close the door. In her desperation, she pushed me inside, then said in a voice as soft as a mosquito's buzz, Sister, I'm sorry, please forgive me. It's a wonder, she actually apologized to me. I sat on the edge of the bed, watching her respectful demeanor, and slowly opened my mouth. Oh, what did you do wrong? I shouldn't have spread rumors and tarnished your reputation. I have deeply realized my mistake, as she spoke. Her eyes caught sight of the evidence I was organizing on my computer. Immediately, a look of panic washed over her face, and she dropped to her knees in front of my bed, clutching my leg. Sister, please forgive me. I promise I will never frame you again. I glanced at the calendar, noting that there was less than a month left until the college entrance exam. Listening to Qiao Shu's guarantee again, a smirk crept onto my lips. Although I've saved up the 20 million I owe the Qiao family. But since I'll be living alone from now on, tuition and living expenses will be a considerable expense. Of course I am. I don't miss any opportunity to make money. In the end, I asked Qiao Shu for half of her monthly allowance after the blackmail, as hush money and compensation for reputational damage. She was reluctant in every possible way, but there was nothing she could do. Who told her I had her handle now? I asked her, why would you take the initiative to apologize? Qiao Shu's eyes darkened, and she clenched her fists tightly, as if she had been greatly humiliated. Mind your own business. She threw down these words and left. The night was cool as water, and the moonlight was bright. With Qiao Shu out of the way, I can finally have some peace and quiet. Gu Jinji's avatar suddenly popped up on WeChat. He never texts me on WeChat unless something's up. Are you asleep? I casually replied with a single word, no. He replied instantly, how are you feeling? That speed made it seem like he was holding his phone, waiting for my reply. I stared at those 5 words, like the subway old man looking at his phone. Are young people so indirect when it comes to relationships these days? Is he trying to infer Qiao Shu's mood by gauging mine? So, I'm just a tool, plain and simple. Thanks, I'm offended. I grit my teeth and reply, very good. The college entrance exam is in a month. You'll be going to Tsinghua, right? Of course. Otherwise, where would the top student in the grade go? He sent me 6 dots. I guess I flexed on him. Always the bridesmaid, never the bride. 13. With the Gaokao exam fast approaching, my life is just a straight line between 3 points every day. Some people in school study late into the night, while others snore away. Those who snore away are invariably from families with strong backgrounds. Their parents have also paved the way for them to study abroad early on. As for me, I'll be all alone after I turn 18. No one will consider my future. I can only rely on myself. Qiao Shu has become much more well-behaved. Her grades are not good, and her adoptive parents have already contacted a study abroad agency for her. Lu Shiyan has also restrained himself a lot. Every monthly exam, his grades improve by dozens of places. As for Gu Jinji, I didn't provoke him. It's just that every time I passed by his desk, I felt a pair of indifferent and cold eyes staring at me from behind. It made me shiver even in the sweltering summer heat. The night before the college entrance exam, I received another message from Gu Jinji. The frequency he's contacted me this month is almost as much as the past 8 years. He sent me an address, Deep Sea Bar, my birthday party after the college entrance exam, be there at 8 p.m. sharp. I simply replied with, okay, then I schemed in my heart, determined to make him so angry that he vomited blood on that day, whether the rest of my life would be spent eating chaff and swallowing vegetables or living in extravagant wealth depended on this one move. The college entrance examination came to a satisfactory end, having experienced the college entrance examination twice. I still feel that this is the purest and most beautiful time of life, the helplessness of a work-free, toiling life, only the joy of anticipating the future while studying. Some things may be bitter to experience, but sweet to remember. Xiao Shu, however, didn't have many feelings about the college entrance exam. For her, it was just taking an ordinary exam. This exam will not change her life. She is more concerned about Gu Jinji's birthday party tonight. She tried on clothes in front of the mirror with great interest, asking her adoptive mother for advice. Mom, Jinji's friends secretly told me that he's preparing a confession ceremony tonight, and I must appear in my most perfect form. The adoptive mother comfortingly stepped forward and hugged Xiao Shu. Good girl, I've watched Jinji grow up, and I've long treated him as my son-in-law. The mother and daughter were immersed in the anticipation of a beautiful future life. Unfortunately, Xiao Shu will be disappointed tonight. I had already decided to ruin Gu Jinji's birthday banquet. 8 strong men, extraordinary, the power was too great, causing the system to explode with 10 million gold coins for the second time. System crashed, entering self-destruct sequence. Please wait for the new system to connect. 14. This damn system is too fragile. Whatever, anyway, after this deal, I won't have to worry about my next life, after returning 20 million to the Qiao family. I still have 15 million left. I lay contentedly among the young men, with one on each side. On the left, I take a bite of the fruit fed to me by the bespectacled gentleman. On the right, I sip the wine offered by the sunny, athletic young man. And to top it all off, Gu Jinji and Xiao Shu both wear expressions as dark as spilled ink. Delightful, but I haven't had enough fun yet. I was yanked out of the booth by a gust of wind. Those large hands gripped me tightly, with a familiar feeling. The alcohol was getting to me, and I was a little dizzy, trying hard to see the person striding ahead. Gu Jinji, are you sick? Let go. He ignored me, radiating an aura of imminent violence. He opened the door to an empty private room and threw me inside. He turned back and locked the door with a click, then turned around. In the private room, there was only a very dim floor lamp, and his expression was unclear in the shadows as he walked towards me step by step. Although I couldn't see his expression, I could imagine his anger. He took a step closer, and I took a step back. After circling around, I was still forced to the door by him. Help, I've gone too far. I finally became a multimillionaire, and I just wanted to enjoy life a little. I hope I won't make money just to die before I can spend it. Gu Jinji, I can explain. You, damn it, my first kiss. A wave of numbness spread from my lips and teeth throughout my entire body, sweeping over me. Gu Jinji was brutally gnawing on my lips, as if he wanted to devour me whole. I clenched my fists and punched him hard in the chest. Not only did he not stop this mad kiss, but he also raised my arms and crossed my hands above my head. He restrained my flailing arms with one hand and tightly pinched my chin with the other, continuing to deepen this aggressively invasive kiss. He finally released me when I was almost suffocating. In my eyes, I saw Gu Jinji's face, handsome as ever. Even as he was lost in desire, his eyes, as dark as ink, were now covered with a layer of haze, and the corners of his eyes were slightly red. His bright red and glistening lips were slightly parted, and he was breathing softly. I must not be doing any better right now. Are you sick? Gu Jinji, that was my first kiss. 15. Realizing I had said something stupid, I quickly tried to make up for it. To think I'm being kissed by someone with such terrible kissing skills for the first time. Gu Jinji sneered, the dazed look from just now completely gone, replaced by her usual cold indifference. Qiao Yuan, the only thing hard about you is your mouth. Even without the system, years of habit still egged me on to infuriate Gu Jinji. Indeed, unlike you, young Master Gu, who's not only stubborn. My eyes darted around him. Gu Jinji's face went from black to red, and he clenched his fists. I was really afraid he would throw a punch, so I quickly hugged my head, but unexpectedly. A pair of warm, gentle hands landed in my hair. Then, just like petting my cat at home, Those hands stroked my head. The spikes I had raised all over my body were smoothed down by his 2 strokes. You're getting bolder and bolder now, even daring to order male models. Are you that impatient? Where do you want to touch? I can reluctantly let you practice first. Am I, in your eyes, not even worth as much as the Beijing 8 delicacies you ordered? His cold, deep voice enveloped me. I shook my head to clear my mind, looking at the man before me with alarm. His handsome face now wore a trace of nonchalance after his success. It's over, system, wake up and explain. The male lead, Gu Jinji, was driven crazy by me. He wants to offer himself to me. I turned around to open the door, and then fled without looking back. I didn't expect to run into someone as soon as I rushed out of the booth, and was held by the shoulder. Qiao Yuan, I've been looking for you for a long time. I have something to tell you, damn it. Why is Lu Shiyan here too? I desperately need to find a crack in the ground to hide in, and tried to pull his hand away. I'm busy right now. Another day. What's your rush? It'll only take 2 sentences. I glanced back at the private room I had just left. No one was following me. It was dark. Gu Jinji was still inside. I suddenly breathed a sigh of relief. I was really afraid to face him. It was so awkward after just kissing. Speak, what is it? I feel like I did well on this exam. My dad restored my card in advance. I was dumbfounded and asked him with my eyes. And then, he pursed his lips, looking determined, purely earnest. Then I'll give you 2 million, and you come with me. I refuse. His words made me tremble all over. Damn, the escort girl thing is confirmed to be delayed. Why did he take it seriously? Didn't he realize I was just making up an excuse to reject him? As soon as she finished speaking, Gu Jinji strode out of the dark booth, his eyes locked onto me. Are you that desperate for money? Lu Shiyan saw Gu Jinji appear and suddenly squeezed harder, making my shoulder ache. Ouch, be gentle. Tears were welling up in my eyes. He hurriedly let go of me, and I regained control of my body. I fled the scene with the determination and courage of running 800 meters, and the sprinting speed of 50 meters. I need some peace and quiet to sort things out. What exactly is going on? 16. Before I could figure it out, how did Gu Jinji suddenly start doing that to me? The news of Gu Jinji and the Qiao family's engagement spread throughout the Beijing circle. The engaged person, of course, couldn't be me, the fake heiress. The system is bankrupt, and I can't make any money staying here, so I decided to run away and get used to life abroad in advance. I applied to an American university long ago. From the beginning, I decided to repay the Qiao family for their kindness and then fly far away. Tsinghua University is just a smokescreen for this plan. Today, my adoptive parents took Qiao Ai to choose a dress for the engagement banquet, and the servants have also gone home to visit relatives in the empty villa. I was the only one. I packed my luggage, just a few clothes I bought myself. A small bag was enough. Those material possessions were all given by the Qiao family, and I returned them all when I left. I took out my phone, entered my foster mother's bank account number, and transferred 20 million to her. From then on, the debt of nurturing was written off. The disaster of shielding has been broken by me. Let Qiao Ai face her own tribulation herself. The Qiao family and I are now strangers. I'm going abroad to enjoy my life. Gu Jinji, happy engagement. We all have bright futures. 17. I came to a foreign country alone, but I don't feel scared at all. Is this the confidence that comes from having money in my pocket? I'm wearing a bikini, lying on the warm sunny beach, taking a sip of ice-cold sparkling soda, winking at the handsome blonde men passing by. In my past life, I died from overwork. In this life, I'm cannon fodder. Finally, I'm living a comfortable life. The phone vibrated, and I lazily opened my eyes. And then, my best friend back in China, sent me a message. I've changed my phone, and she's the only one who knows this number. Breaking, heard Gu Jinji stormed off at his engagement banquet. Then he threw a bunch of photos over. In the photos, Gu Jinji was wearing a black suit, which accentuated his broad shoulders and long legs, making him look even more refined and noble. It was just that the expression on his face was truly terrifying. More terrifying than the day I ruined his birthday banquet, and then didn't know what had happened that caused Gu Jinji to leave in anger. She only knew that the engagement banquet had just begun when Gu Jinji saw Qiao Shu, who was dressed in an exquisite, appear. He immediately left with a dark face. Without saying a word, Qiao Shu's face was pale, and she tried to pull Gu Jinji back, but he shook her off. I stared blankly at Gu Jinji in the photo. Some dead memories attacked me, that kiss. Gu Jinji's robber-like kiss that night, bloodthirsty and fierce, yet chillingly intoxicating. His lips were soft, and aside from the somewhat rough movements, the taste was actually not bad. I was squinting, savoring the aftertaste, when a shadow blocked my sunlight. I frowned in displeasure. Who is so rude, blocking my sun and preventing my tan? I angrily opened my eyes, only to meet a pair of familiar, deep eyes. Well, too much fantasy. I'm hallucinating Gu Jinji. So I'll just close my eyes for now. My expectations flowed in the darkness, hoping to open my eyes and not see that king of hell. 18. A cold, deep voice shattered my expectations. Xiao Yuan, you just batted your eyelashes 18 times. Did you start living freely after going abroad? Damn it, I got caught flirting with a foreign coach. I resigned myself and opened my eyes. He had taken off his t-shirt at some point. Only a pair of beach pants hung loosely on his lower body. His fair skin seemed to glow in the sunlight. His waist was trim, his abs were well-defined, and the muscles in his arms were sleek. Phew, I want to touch. Restraint, I endure. I sit up from the recliner. What needs to be faced must be faced. As an adult for 2 lifetimes, I deeply understand the world of adults. As long as you're thick-skinned, nothing is insurmountable. I raised my head and smiled at him. Yeah, trying to snag a handsome guy for a husband. Why didn't you get engaged in China? What are you doing here? He pushed me back down onto the lounge chair, his smile thin and cold, his eyes bloodthirsty. Besides me, who else do you want to harm? Excuse me, may I ask, are you a masochist? You must be addicted to being angered by me. Besides, I'll mess with whoever I want. He's about to get engaged to someone else, yet he's still so controlling. I retorted to him, annoyed. Whatever happens, happens. As long as he's not a married man. His eyes darkened, and he leaned down. You're so carefree, running away after kissing me, and even pushing Xiao Shu out for an engagement. Do you think I would get engaged to her? A fire instantly flared up in my belly. I've already left, and you're still throwing every piece of shit at me. Who told Xiao Shu to go against me? I've already flown far away, so don't pin it on me. I won't take the blame for her anymore. Gu Jinji suddenly burst out laughing, her eyelashes fluttering as she chuckled. I thought you just loved taking the blame. You were always so eager to do it. What do you mean? I stared blankly at his handsome face as it got closer and closer. You're greedy for money, yet you sponsor orphans. You act like a shrew while occupying the position of the Chiao family's heiress, yet you leave without a trace of reluctance. Even me, who you tried every means to make fun of since childhood, you don't want any more this time. I gasped and pushed him away. How could he know everything? 19. Before transmigrating into this book, I was an orphan, having grown up in an orphanage since I could remember. Later, I was adopted by various families. I know all too well what kind of life orphans lead. In this life, although I was adopted by the Chiao family when I was very young, I haven't gone hungry or been beaten. But now that I have money, I always think about those orphaned and helpless children. I can help those children and make their lives better. Therefore, I never skimp on sponsoring orphans. During that time when I was avoiding Xiao Shu by leaving early and returning late, I was also volunteering at the orphanage. I remained silent, not knowing what to say. It's as if the female supporting character should be thoroughly evil, otherwise it's just a forced redemption. I was caught off guard by Gu Jinji's sudden insight, making me a little embarrassed. He raised my chin, a smile playing on the corner of his lips. So, I've come to find my real fiancé. Are you still going to run? I felt all the blood rush to my face. I must be as red as a beet right now. I muttered, can I still run? He leaned down, pressing close, blocking the sun. His shadow enveloped me. You can try. Where else can I run? I don't want to run either. I'm all about looks, and Gu Jinji is the most attractive person I've ever seen. No more running. Let's seize the time and make a clean sweep. Gu Jinji stayed for 2 weeks before returning to China to handle her student status issues there. A month later, he flew back to my side and swaggered into my rented apartment. After accompanying me to study in the US for half a year, he joined me at the same school. He can cook delicious Chinese food and satisfy my cravings. He is also a top student. He studies computer science, and I study engineering, but he can solve all the problems I can't. He lets me bully him, and he feels uncomfortable if I don't cause him some trouble every now and then. He has to have me make a mess for him to feel comfortable. I asked him, why didn't you study business and inherit the company in the future? He said, am I not a computer genius? My dad's company is failing, I'm going to develop some new business for him. I suddenly remembered the owner of the website who helped me clarify the rumors before, and Xiao Shu apologizing to me very unusually. I asked softly, you wouldn't happen to be the owner of the high school campus website, would you? He gave me a look of pity, as if I were mentally challenged. I thought you were a good student, at least with some reasoning skills. After a while, I suddenly felt something. I must have stepped in luck to have picked up such a great boyfriend, rich, handsome, and a little sick, because Gu Jinji firmly chose me. I don't know what the ending of this book will be. When Xiao Shu and I were 20 years old, she didn't have a car accident. The important plot points of the original book have all been changed. I don't know what's going on, until one day, the system's voice appeared in my mind again. Hello, host, I am the upgraded female lead protection system. This system update includes revised protection rules. The better the relationship between the female lead and the male lead, the more money you will receive. The system's voice had barely faded. There was a rustling sound of gold coins falling. Female lead protection system Qiao Yuan account, received 100 million renminbi. I really didn't do anything this time, and this overwhelming fortune just landed on my head. The new system is about to crash. What's going on? What exactly happened? Excuse me, do you know Gu Jinji, the male lead? He's my boyfriend now. What? You become the new female lead. Then a clattering sound came from my mind. My mind returned to silence, and the system disappeared again. This time, I feel like it probably won't appear again, so I've become the female lead, and the original story is completely ruined. No wonder Xiao Shu's car accident never happened. Gu Jinji wrapped his arms around me from behind, resting his chin on the crook of my neck. What are you giggling about all by yourself? My laughter turned even more lewd. I'm rolling in money now, so I've decided to take care of you. A smile played at the corner of his lips. My pleasure, Sister Yuan. After hearing the story above, what are your thoughts? Feel free to share your opinions in the comments section. Looking forward to hearing from you. If you liked this story, don't forget to like it, share it, and subscribe to my channel. See you next time.